Good morning once again. This is Tim Ailer. How you doing this morning? Hope you all doing well. Today is Wednesday. I think it's the 27th, right? It is. So, starting off, I'd like to go over the. I hope you all doing well today. Anyway, I'm doing great. I'm out here in Colorado on vacation. I know I keep saying that, but it's kind of nice here. Enjoying it, visiting family, friends, things like that. So, mostly family, right? Got some family out here in Colorado, so loving that. Anyway, today we have a lot of different areas of severe weather potential. One area up here in the Intermountain West and to Oregon and Idaho today, right? We have another area into northern Texas and far southeastern Texas as well, with some different features moving through the flow there today. We also have another risk along the eastern seaboard with a slight risk here and parts of the mid Atlantic and points westward into the Ohio Valley and into the upper Midwest here into parts of Wisconsin as well, with a general thunderstorm risk otherwise. Tornado risk is quite low today. We don't see any tornadoes on the map here. A chance of tornadoes less than 2%. Now, the wind risk is spread out throughout this whole different area here, right? We have a wind risk down here along the Gulf Coast, Texas Gulf Coast, North Texas, and out west here with a Sig 1 hatching on the western edge of this in the parts of western Idaho, eastern Oregon, with potential for 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts in that area today. Also, on the eastern seaboard, we got a wind risk with that slight risk, 15% risk around, generally centered in Virginia Beach, Richmond, Virginia, Southbury, Washington, D.C., Winchester, and into parts of West Virginia as well. So, hail risk quite low today, 5% hail risk in the brown areas here. Moving into tomorrow, here's your overall severe risk and thunderstorms. General thunderstorms generally in the line from the parts of the southeast just to the north of Charlotte, all the way through the middle part of the country up to the Intermountain West and along the northwest coast here, with the exception of the Washington area, with a marginal risk of severe weather out west here. So, like Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and parts of Montana. Tornado risk tomorrow is less than 2%. Wind risk 5%. Chance of winds exceeding 50 knots there within that area. And also the hail risk is here as well. A little bit farther south in the overall severe weather outlook here. All right, so not a very intense day tomorrow. Then we get into Friday, the 29th. I'm coming back from Colorado that day. The severe threat's just a little further to the east here in the parts of Montana and also down into parts of northern Texas, northwestern Texas, south central, well, central, east central New Mexico here. All right. And this is your probabilistic look at it, categorical probabilistic here. The rest of the days, low predictability and then low potential as we get into next week. So, still, chances of severe weather, I think, the next 3 or 4 days after the 29th, but not showing a lot of potential here. Now, moving on, excessive rainfall. This has been the big story the past several days, and it continues with a 15% risk around the Gulf Coast, all the way up through parts of Oklahoma, Texas, parts of southeast Colorado, parts of Missouri. Um, let's see here, Kansas, through most of Tennessee here, Alabama, Mississippi, and parts of northwestern Georgia, the higher terrain of the North Carolina, South Carolina, and in the mid Atlantic states in the Ohio Valley. So a 15% risk in Cincinnati, Ohio area, Indianapolis, Columbus, Morgantown, and Huntington, right? And just up into parts of Pennsylvania with the marginal risk as well. Marginal risk up into parts of Washington. Excuse me, yeah, just a small portion of Washington, Idaho, just a small sliver of Idaho and parts of Montana today. Also, moving into tomorrow, we have a large marginal risk in parts of the southeast, the deep south, Dixie Alley, Nashville, Tennessee, toward up towards Kansas, Kansas City, right? Missouri. This is bugging me. The states aren't labeled here. I got to fix that. This is a new weather front website. Through parts of Oklahoma and through eastern Texas down toward Houston, New Orleans, along the Gulf Coast, and parts of southeast Florida. And like I said, up here in Washington State, once again, tomorrow. Moving into Friday, that marginal risk hangs on here in the southeast and parts of the deep south, but a small area here. You can see New Orleans back towards a small portion of Oklahoma, parts of Missouri, most Alabama, Mississippi, most of Georgia, and parts of South Carolina. Now the threat moves further to the east here. Go back with this. Along the southeast coast, the coast of Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and up here in the northwest, the Intermountain West here, parts of Montana and Idaho, and far northwestern Wyoming as well. So, continued rainfall chances in the next several days. We get into Sunday, they don't have a risk area, but I think we'll maybe find a little more honing of that forecast in future days. Well, as far as current temperatures go, this is as of 9 a.m. Eastern. 80s, 70s, all the way up into the northeast here, 60s, with some cooler temperatures out to the west here. So, overall, a pretty nice day, although quite mucky down here in the southeast. I don't know why, but this page doesn't refresh like I would hope it would. Moving on to some model data, future temps first, okay? And I know I'm jumping around here, but let's go over the future temps here. Let's use the REFS. What do you say? It's the newest model out there. The ensemble here. All right, so let's see if we can back this up some. Go back in time here. All right. See if I get a more current run than this. Let's do National Blend of Models. What do you say? All right. This is bugging me here. All right, 14Z. 9 a.m. All right, move through time with this. Getting quite hot up here in the north, and your heat index values will get quite warm as well. I'm trying to get this to change, and it's not behaving. So, anyway, move through time with this. Into the overnight hours, 60s, 70s, 50s up here in the northeast and parts of the upper Midwest. Cooling off quite nicely out west here, 50s and 60s with 70s in the desert southwest. To Thursday, getting really hot here along the east, south, the southeast coast, all the way up into parts of Canada, 70s and 80s up here. I'm trying to get this to change, and it's not behaving. Like I said, sorry about that. Very hot along the southeast coast, in the parts of Georgia, parts of the southern Texas, and up into the upper Midwest. Not too bad. the northern part of the country, especially hot into tomorrow. This is 10 a.m. Mountain Time, so we're talking 3 p.m. Eastern, 95, getting really hot, 91 up in parts of Canada. All right, even down into Texas as well. Pretty nice here. Up Billings, Montana, 90, Boise, 82. These are just different areas here. New York, Montreal in the 60s and 70s. And we get in the evening hours. Cooling off overnight some, especially in the Denver area, 50s and 60s where I'm at. Pretty nice overnight. Once again, it's been beautiful out here. Not cooling off too much in the upper Midwest. Upper Midwest, yes, but I'm sorry, but in the middle of the night, plains, 60s and 70s. Staying quite moist and warm down here in the southeast. Getting into Friday afternoon, Saturday morning. Now the cool temperature is really coming in the northeast here. You can see the blues here and out west quite nice as well overnight. Might get some freezing temperatures here in the higher terrain. And that's where I'm going to end this right here, 6 a.m. on Saturday. And I'll follow up another forecast either tomorrow or Friday morning and go over it in more detail further out. Right. And this is your, I know it says 2 meter temperature up here, but this is total QPF, okay? Total amount of precip over time. And we're going through today. Highest precip amounts are out west here. You can see that mid-level feature up here, even into Colorado, in the Denver metro, maybe a tenth of an inch of rain in today. And eastern, southeastern Colorado, half inch, maybe 1 inch here. And in parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, in the overnight hours. Looks like we're going to get a break in the southeast and some higher amounts up here in the higher terrain, 5 inches, zero point 0.5 to 1 inch possibly here, and maybe along the eastern seaboard. And we have some more rainfall here expected in into tomorrow in parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, the southern tier of the U.S., now into the northeast. This is total QPF, okay? And we go through time with this into the weekend, Saturday into Sunday, into Monday. See what the highest amounts are into Monday, right? 1 inch, a couple inches here, maybe a quarter of an inch by then here in Colorado. Wow, look at the higher amounts up into Canada here. Half an inch of rain or higher, hence the excessive rainfall outlook potential up here and in the northeast. So the big winners for precip in the next several days till the 1st of June is the eastern seaboard here, southeast, parts of the central U.S., and in the Mississippi Valley and into the southeast, with the upper Midwest not getting a heck of a lot of precip, and maybe in the higher terrain out here into Oregon as well, in the higher terrain out here in the Sierra Nevada range. Idaho here, I'm sorry, parts of Wyoming and parts of the higher terrain in Canada as well. Up to so yeah, we'll still get some snow here, which will help with the snowpack, and maybe up here in the higher terrain in New England as well, maybe a few inches of snow, although not heavy at all. So we still get a little snow here, which will help the snowpack and help for runoff. So starting off today with precip. Um, This is RRFS short range model. The showers and storms here. This is 6 a.m. Mountain, so right about 9, now 11 a.m. Mountain time. I know it doesn't show Eastern, so around 1 in the afternoon. Showers and storms getting moving through the area. You see there's already a mesoscale discussion here for this area, so some severe weather possible in the coming hours. Those storms will continue to fire in that area and move to the south and east over time. Maybe a couple different lines of storms move through the area, some of the Great Lakes here. This is into the evening hours tonight. Overnight, those storms move offshore. Maybe some rain, fire, and convection into tomorrow evening, and a strong line of storms here moving to the south. Then that clears out into Friday, and then we have that northerly flow up here in the northeast. This is Friday around 1 p.m. Eastern. See those general northerly flow with showers moving through overnight into Friday into Saturday. And you have more of a northwesterly flow here in the northeast and into the southern part of the U.S. Now moving on to the southern U.S., we'll go back to the beginning of this. We got our MCSs moving through the deep south here. So we're going to cover this corner of the country here. It's the southern part of the U.S., southeast. So this morning, those MCS move offshore here. Maybe some lines of storms move to the southeast and the part of this south central U.S. and back here to the west. Pretty strong line of storms moving through here, right? And we got this line moving back up this way. You see the flow generally, right? What's happening here? All right, take this off. And that flow generally continues here. Another line of storms moving through the deep south here. This is tomorrow morning around 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. Pretty potent line of storms along the Gulf Coast here, up into the south central U.S. Into the afternoon evening hours, that line I was talking about moves to the south here and just offshore. Looks like maybe a cold front is trying to push down through here, or an MCS, some kind of feature. Maybe the other MCS down here in the southern portion of southern Florida. Fades over time here. This is 10 a.m. on Friday, 12 around noon on Saturday, on Friday afternoon. Another strong line of storms here in southern Georgia, south central Georgia here along a boundary, right? That line fades overnight to Saturday morning, and more showers and storms into Saturday afternoon. So quite unsettled here for the deep south and southeast. Now moving on to the northern tier of the U.S. Let's go, I don't know, around noon here. Looks like some showers and storms into Texas, Oklahoma. Already just overcast here. And we have overcast skies here in Denver this morning, which is kind of unusual. A kind of unusual flow pattern right now coming from this way. So interesting weather today. All right, so move that through. Another push of moisture here into 5 a.m. Mountain Time west here. We see that moisture really pooling here in in Kansas in the overnight hours. Tomorrow in the morning, heavy rainfall looks like. Maybe some more rainfall into Denver area, the central U.S. here. All right, pretty unsettled here. Next couple days, some more storms firing into Friday morning here, and somewhat unsettled again into Friday afternoon and evening here, the northern tier of the U.S., central U.S., into Oklahoma. Then we have that low spinning up here. Now moving out to the west coast, back to at the beginning. Pretty unsettled out west here too, with that low spinning out here. And we'll go with the 500 millibar flow as well, just to show you what's going on. Maybe another mid-level feature out here out west, like we talked about. Some showers on the west coast here, San Francisco. Maybe Los Angeles might get some here. And you see into 8 p.m. tomorrow, pretty intense rainfall rates up here in Washington State and Oregon. Interesting flow pattern here. All right. And some showers and storms in the desert southwest. Just some showers into the Friday afternoon here. And more storms firing in the mountainous terrain out here, Salt Lake City, Boise, Grand Junction, Rapid City, up into parts of Iowa and Montana as we get into Friday afternoon. The Saturday, that system kind of hangs out here. We have general showers and thunderstorms also here into Saturday afternoon. So quite unsettled for most of the rainfall in the south, deep south, part of the central U.S. and the north parts of the northern high plains as well into the northwest. But like I said, flooding concerns are our main concern here in the deep south, especially in the coming days. So let's keep an eye on that, and I'll keep you up to date as I can. Hope you have a great day, and God bless you all.